What's up guys, good morning, or whatever time it is when you're watching this. It's 11:30 on December 7th. And I know I didn't put up a video yesterday. I kind of got like behind one day and I feel like Sunday is my time of rest. I was just like so exhausted yesterday. And so I was also on Saturday too. I just had like a really tired weekend, pretty lazy weekend, which is fine with me because lately I've just been going, and it was definitely just a different type of energy. It was like no energy actually that I had, but I just wanted to say hello and address that I'm not gonna take it as like a loss that I skipped. I think I'm just gonna, because I was gonna put out like 2 videos today to catch up, but I'm just like, there's no point. But I'm at the gym, I'm about to go in, and I saw this really cool post on Facebook before I deleted Facebook the other day. Oh crap. Well, I'll just use the browser. I was gonna say what I saw I was gonna share with you guys, and that was gonna be kind of like the topic of today's video or today's vlog. So I'll just get on the browser and find the video again, or find the post again. But it was basically like 8 truths that we all just need to come to terms with and realize in order to really have live our happiest lives and just be the happiest that we can be. And they're hard truths, you know, but I feel like as I read through them, I was like, I have so been realizing these things lately, and it's just made my life so much better. It's hard to come to terms with them, like I mentioned, but like I said, it makes my life a lot better. So let me I'll share the first one with you now. 8 uncomfortable truths that we all need to accept is what it was called. The first one is happiness is where you are now or nowhere at all. So it says, it's not a new relationship, it's not a new job, it's not a completed goal, and it's not a new car. Until you give up on the idea that happiness is somewhere else, it will never be where you currently are. I feel like I used to do this too. I'm like, if I could just do this, I would be happier. If I could just do that, I would be happy. And I mean, it's not saying that it's not okay to like, it's not a good idea to set goals, it's not a good idea to open yourself up to a new relationship or whatever, but you have to be able to find happiness in today, like in right now, in this moment. Because if you're always thinking about, oh, I'll only be happy when this happens, then you're living in the present moment. Your present moment is a life of like lacking, like you're lacking these things because you're saying, I'm not happy right now, but I will be if I do this. And it's just kind of like, why would, like, you know what I'm saying? You have to be able to find happiness in things that are going on right now in this moment, or else you're not gonna be happy. And that's something that I had to come to terms with as well. And I've been doing that. Like, I've been finding happiness in every single day, while I'm also thinking about the future. I'm also like, wow, today's great. The sun is out today. It's not extremely cold today. First of all, I'm alive. That's freaking awesome. I'm not sick. I'm healthy. My gym is open. That's awesome. I get to go to the gym. You have to wear a mask, but like, look at this awesome mask that I have, and it allows me to go and work out and be safe and keep other people safe and like all this stuff. It's such a good practice to start thinking about the things that make you happy every single day and the things that you're grateful for. And it sounds really cheesy, but like, honestly, it's life-changing, because subconsciously you're just gonna be happier. Just try it for a week. Try it for a week and let me know how it goes for you. All right, I'm gonna go work out. I did some glutes and legs yesterday, but I only did like 2 exercises because I was just so tired. I was like, I shouldn't be here, so I'm gonna do it all over again today. So I'll see you guys after my workout. What's up guys, I'm back home. I just had lunch, finished lunch, and now I'm about to start working. I have a lot of work to do today because I took a little bit too long at the gym and a little bit too long eating lunch. But before we get into number 2 of the things that we all need to realize, I wanted to read to you guys the quote of the week, or the wisdom of the week. This is my passion planner. It's a must-have. Look at this. Isn't that pretty? I would highly recommend, actually I need to order one. Crap, I need to order one for next year. Highly would recommend getting a passion planner. I'll leave a link down below if you're interested. Every week there's like a little quote. I don't know if you can see it, but it's there. And this week's quote says, "Lost time is never found again." It's easy to get wrapped up in work. Sometimes we forget to pick our head up out of our workspace and take a breather. Allot yourself break times in your schedule this week, and remember to stop and smell the roses. I have a lot to do this week, and so that's something that I definitely need to do. Although I also feel like sometimes I give myself a little bit too much break time. Or I'm just thinking about all the stuff I need to do and I don't take a break from thinking about everything I need to do. It's like really, it stresses me out. Number 2 is quitting is for winners. Contrary to popular opinion, quitting is for winners. Knowing when to quit, change direction, leave a toxic situation, demand more from life, give up on something that isn't working and move on is a very important skill that people who win at life all seem to have. But don't quit because it's hard. quit because it sucks. I totally agree with that. Now, saying quit because it sucks, that's kind of like, well, I guess it just depends. So like, I mean, sometimes working hard does suck, and like having to get through something does suck. Like for instance, college, that sucked. I didn't want to do it, but I had to do it and I had to finish in order to, well, sorry, I'm just like, okay, so here's the deal. I went to community college and I was studying to become a like cybersecurity major or something. And I was sitting there and I was like, this sucks. Like, I don't like this. And it kind of hit me. I was like, if I don't like this now, I'm not going to like to do this for the rest of my life. And the only reason why I chose to do that major at the time was because I knew it would make me a lot of money. And so I was like, do I want to do this because it's going to make me a lot of money? Or do I want to have a job that I actually enjoy? And so I quit. I didn't quit college. I finished getting my associate's degree because why not? But also I quit that path. I was like, I don't like this, and I put the brakes on and I changed, and now I have a job that I love, doing what I love and making pretty good money at the same time. So I mean, I think that's true. Also, it talked about toxic situations. The last relationship I was in was toxic. Now the guy is a great guy, but our relationship was just really toxic. And I remember earlier this year, early 2020, because I didn't move out until May, I remember saying like, I'm gonna move this year, I'm gonna move this summer, and whether or not this person's coming with me, I'm moving because I need to, and I just need to get out of this situation. I need something new. And that was a really tough decision to make because I was there for like 4 years. I lived with this person and I was with them for like 5. To pull myself out of a routine that I was so used to was terrifying. To even bring up to them that I wanted to leave was terrifying. It was hard, but now like look where I'm at now, and it wouldn't have happened if I hadn't made the decision and acted upon it and just quit. It was hard to do, but now I'm winning. Like, I'm kind of winning from the situation. So anyway, that's number 2. I think that was pretty good. I'm gonna get some work done and I'll see you guys later for number 3. Hey guys, I'm back. It is 5 o'clock almost, and I am like mentally drained. I have so much on my mind lately. So much on my mind, and like, I don't know, I'm just trying not to get like super stressed out about it. I'm trying just to let it go and just like move on. But it's hard. Anyway, so let's catch up where we left off. We were at number 3. We still need to see number 3, and I freaking lost the tab, so now I have to go back and find it really quickly. Hold on. I've been listening to a lot of country music today, and like my favorite songs, and I keep like, they're good songs, like they're like kind of love songs, like ooey gooey songs, and you know, like I just keep like thinking about things when I'm listening to the songs, and it's nice, like it's nice things, but it kind of makes me feel kind of sad, and so I have to like pull myself out of that thinking and be like, no, you're fine, like chill the fuck out, you're good. Okay, let's find this post. All right, this third one is the source of many a doubt in my mind lately, and this one is, if they really wanted to, they would. If you apply pressure, they'll do what you want them to. If you take the pressure off, you'll see what they would rather do. Never waste your life fighting what someone would rather do. Let them go, move on, do better. And I've been seeing this a lot too, like on TikTok. For some reason, I have like a lot of like relationship TikToks. I'm not even in a relationship, but I have them like popping up on my feed, and a lot of people, like one of the reminders is, if they wanted to, they would. If they wanted to, they would. If he wanted to, he would. If she wanted to, she would. And like at the same time, like, yeah, I get that, like that's true. If they wanted to, they would. If they wanted to text you, they would. If they wanted to invite you out, they would. That's something that I've kind of had to remind myself lately. But then on the other hand, like everyone has their issues, their problems that they're dealing with. Like me too, I also do. And so like, if I want to do something, the problems I'm dealing with might keep me from doing that. So I mean, it's true, like if they wanted to, they would, but at the same time, you also have to think about like what is going on in their life right now, what might be keeping them from doing something that they want to do, because anxiety can totally do that. Anxiety is keeping me from doing a lot of things that I want to do, and I'm working on getting over that. You do have to like step away eventually. You just have to be like, okay, this person obviously has other ideas, or obviously has other thoughts, and you have to just remember that. And then you can't just like sit around basically waiting for someone to do something you want them to do, because they're their own person. They have their own things going on. If they want to, they will. If they don't want to, they won't. You know, you can't force shit. So moving on to number 4, taking no risk is the biggest risk. You have to risk failure to succeed. You have to risk rejection to be accepted. You have to risk heartbreak to love. And if you're always avoiding risk, you're risking missing out on life. And that kind of goes hand in hand with the last one too, especially when we're talking about like relationships. I am terrified of getting into another relationship after, as I mentioned, being in one for 5 years. And it really, like, over time, your expectations they still are stuck back in that old relationship. My expectations of the way that that person treated me, the things that they didn't do, that they should have done, just different things like that. And so that kind of like reflects onto like new people that I meet. And it's kind of like, it's really hard because it's like I want to do this, but at the same time, like I'm afraid of getting hurt again. And so it's like this giant like stop sign. It's like, wait. You could do this, but you might get hurt. But then it's also like, but if I don't do it, then it could have been really good and I would have never known about it. Like it could have been the best relationship ever and I wouldn't have known about it. Or I could have learned an important lesson that I wouldn't have learned if I hadn't taken the risk. Same thing goes with like jobs and everything. Like I took a huge risk with the job that I'm in right now, and it turns out to be like the best job I've ever had, and I'm having a good time doing it. Putting videos out there on YouTube. This is a huge risk that I'm taking, and I could be rejected. I'm risking rejected, but hopefully I'll be accepted. People don't achieve things just by sitting down and playing it safe. Remember that. That's a hard one to get over though. It really is. Call yourself out. That's a good one. The most common reason why people keep making the same mistakes is because their insecure ego prevents them from taking responsibility for their own BS, their own toxic traits, and their own mistakes. You have to call yourself out. Calling yourself out means you care more about your future, your progress, and your happiness than just protecting your ego. I totally agree with this. I call myself out for stuff all the time. You gotta be careful though, because sometimes you can like totally overthink things and be like, oh my gosh, am I talking too much? Oh my gosh, am I doing this or that? And then I also tell my friends like, hey, if I'm doing something that's annoying, or like if I'm doing something that's really problematic, like tell me and I will own up to it. Yeah, I'm a super communicative person. If I have a problem with somebody, I'll try to tell them in like the nicest way possible. But then again, like I also want to be told when I'm doing something, and I'll also keep an eye out in my mind for the things that I do and make sure that the things I do aren't being toxic. And sometimes I'll catch myself thinking negatively about somebody or judging them, and I'll be like, whoa, don't do that, you know, like chill out, be a good person. It's hard, it takes a long time. It does not just happen overnight. And like sometimes I know something's wrong and I'll do it, and then I'll catch myself and I'll be like, whoa, you knew that was wrong, like why did you do that? And so it's hard. Some things are habits, and you have to be able to catch yourself and be willing to change. And you can't get offended when people tell you or criticize you in certain things. You just can't get offended. You have to be like, okay, why does this person think that of me? Maybe it's something that I'm doing. I should really evaluate that. So sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't, but still, call yourself out for stuff. Also, by the way, this is lipstick. I just had too much on my lips when it's like a lip gloss before I started filming, so I had to wipe some of that off. Number 6, closure is your choice. Closure isn't an apology or justice or answers. That's insecurity. If the situation made you feel awful, seeking closure by reopening it is insanity. Closure isn't something they can give you. Closure is moving on. Closure is your choice, especially because you can't force someone to give you closure. And even if you could, they could be lying to you. They could be lying to you and just tell you what you want to hear, and then that's not closure. That's just somebody feeding your ego, feeding your insecurity, like trying to, I don't know if it's like feeding your insecurity, but I guess like validating your insecurity. I don't really know, but I kind of agree with that. Closure, the want of like wanting closure from something is, I don't think it's necessarily about, I think it's natural to want closure, but then at the same time, like it can be really harmful to keep yourself wanting that closure for a long time, for too long of a time, you know? Eventually you just have to tell yourself like, this is what happened. It's in the past and it is what it is. I may never know why this happened. I may never get an apology. But at the end of the day, you have to move on. You have to move forward. You have to live in the present. Closure is moving on. Closure is your choice. You have to make that choice to move on. Reading the comments under this, I want to kind of like clarify. Somebody said actually seeking closure by reopening it is exactly what trauma therapy is, and a traumatized person can't just decide to have closure or to get over it. I think that what this is saying is like you can't seek closure from the person who did you wrong, basically. Like you can seek closure from yourself, and that starts with deciding to evaluate it and not just simply get over it, but to accept what happened, I guess, depending on what it is. I don't know, let me know your thoughts about that one down below. Okay, number 7, if you're happy alone, you'll be happier together. There's no type of affection that can fill the void in a person who doesn't love themselves already. There's no independence in dependency. There's no personal security in attaching yourself to a secure person. Until you have a healthy relationship with yourself, you won't make healthy decisions about someone else. So that's, I mean, when I saw this, I was like, dude, this is hitting the nail on the head for how my life is going right now. Not to say there are people that I wouldn't want to be with, but being alone, I have learned so much about myself, and I have learned how to like be okay with being alone. And I think that's really important, because you do truly have to love yourself before you can love somebody else. Like, I used to think that that was just such a stupid cliche, and I never really understood it until I left my last relationship and I started living alone, and I started finding ways to like entertain myself, finding ways to be okay without somebody around. I'm sure it would be a little different if I didn't have Henry though. I feel like it would be a little more quiet and a little more boring, but again, I think it is totally important to be able to be in a healthy relationship with yourself, because if you're not and you find someone else, you start looking for qualities in them that could fill whatever gaps that you have within yourself, and that's not okay, because then if for some reason something happens and you lose that person, you lose all those parts of you that made you like complete, where you should have that on your own. If somebody leaves you, you should still be okay being alone and be okay with yourself. It still will hurt, obviously, but you won't have pieces of yourself missing, because you will know how to fill those within yourself, I guess, if that makes any sense. And number 8, it's not your job to fix damaged people. Your responsibility to help someone will never outweigh their responsibility to help themselves. Ties in with the last one. But it's worth asking yourself why you resonated so strongly with someone that so desperately needed fixing in the first place. Often our own toxic romantic and non-romantic attachments tell a story about an issue we have within ourselves. I think that this is saying basically, because somebody in the comments was like, well, what are therapists for then? And I think that they kind of like missed the point. I think that, like, for example, my last relationship, I keep going back to this, but I wanted to fix him so bad, and I wanted to try to guide him in the right direction, but you can't force people to feel things. You can't force people to think certain things. They have to do that on their own. If they want to become a better person, they have to do that on their own. You can't force that, but you can support them. And that's something that I would totally be willing to do. If somebody were like, hey, I have things I'm trying to work through, can you support me? I would be like, hell yeah, I can support you, but if there's a point where I have to step back for my own like mental health, I'm gonna do that. And that's kind of what I did. Yeah, I mean, that one pretty much speaks for itself. I think there's a difference between fixing somebody, like feeling the need to fix somebody, and feeling the need or the desire to support someone through something. But the main ingredient has to be there, and that is they have to want to change. They have to want to change. Otherwise, it's just a waste of time. It's a waste of your energy. I don't even know what else to say about that. I'm sorry, my brain is like gonzo, and that's what makes it so hard to do these daily vlogs, is because some days I'm just not feeling mentally ready to do this. And today is one of those days. It's getting really dark in here in just the past couple minutes. Let me know what you guys think about those 8 truths that are hard to swallow, but I think we all need to take a dose of them every once in a while. Also, if you disagree or agree with those, agree or disagree, agree to disagree, let me know down in the comments below. I think it just really depends on how you think about those and the context that you take them in, the context that you apply those to, but I would love to hear your thoughts about that. Yeah, just let me know. Let's start a conversation in the comments. Well, thank you so much for watching today. I hope you had a good day. I hope you have an even better week. Don't forget, it's never too late to turn your week around. I don't even know what else to say, but I'm gonna get some dinner, feed Henry here, and I will see you guys all tomorrow. Bye.